Hi, it's Mr. Burkhart. Welcome to the answer key for week 7, assignment 2. We're going to use this formula here, net force equals MA, to solve some problems. And this is another way of writing it. Net force and then MA times each other because they're on the bottom. Because we'll get back to that in a minute. We have a car with a mass of 1,200. Right, so it's got a mass of 1,200. And the acceleration is 3. So we want to calculate the net force on the car. So what we do is we go get ourselves a shape and we change the color of that. Just have to do it again. All right, so force is what we want. Force is what we want. Then we're multiplying mass times acceleration. We have the mass. Mass equals 1,200. Acceleration equals 3. None of this stuff should be capitalized. Right, so if those are that, then m times a, is equal to 1,200 times 3. So go ahead and get out your calculator and calculate the answer. And don't forget to label it. All right, so now we have a large cow with a mass of 300K. And so here again, let's go drawing. Let's go this. Just going to put my equation here real quick. The net force is equal to MA. All right, so the mass is 300. And calculating the acceleration, we have a net force of 40. All right, so what we want to do is cover up acceleration. All right, so this is the thing that gets covered up. So it's net force over mass. A is the thing we're looking for. We're dividing net force by mass. So the net force divided by the mass, which is 40, divided by 300. My 4s do not look good on this. All right, so 4 divided by 30 is 2 divided by 15 is 1 divided by 7.5. 1 divided by 7.5 is 0.13. And that would be meters per second squared. All right, a car is accelerating down the road at 5. It has a mass of 2,000. So here we have acceleration. And we have mass, right? Mass, acceleration, we want force. Oops, wrong color. So we're just going to multiply because force is a thing we're calculating, right? So we just multiply. Net equals, notice I always write net, not just force, is equal to 2,000 times 5. And I'll let you calculate the answer. Get out your calculator, multiply 2,000 by 5. All right, next I have the same equation. Net MA. So now I have a net force. And we have the acceleration. So we want to know the mass. That's the thing we don't know. So it's net force over acceleration. So net force over acceleration is 210 divided by 110. It's 1.9 kilograms. All right, now these problems are really the same thing, except just instead of it being a net force, it's just the force of gravity. How do we figure out something's weight? Well, we need to know the mass and the acceleration of gravity on the planet that we're on. So if I weigh 800, so here I have the force of gravity, the weight, it's the same thing. I want to know the mass. And G is the special symbol for the acceleration due to gravity. So I cover up mass, and it's the force of gravity, which is 800, divided by 9.8. And that's the mass in kilograms. And now we're going to figure out G on Mars, right? So we have the same formula, force of gravity, mass, little g. Right? So we have the force of gravity, the weight. Now we have the kilograms. Now we're going to want to calculate little g. So we just divide the mass, the weight divided by the mass. And if I set the problem up correct, the answer should be 3.7, which is the actual value for Mars. It's 3.7. Earth is 9.8. Mars is 3.7. Why? Mars is a much smaller planet than Earth. All right, that is it. Thank you.